Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat, the vidcast, the podcast, the cast. So, I don't usually do too many emails because I mostly get voicemails, but sometimes I do get emails. And Epi Camacho is a longtime taverner, and he makes some very good points. This is in regards to gamer entitlement. You know, when you get those gamers that I, I, I shouldn't say they spur me to violence, but they give me violent thoughts sometimes because it's all about me, me, me. And I could even do something else about that. But I got some voicemails I also need to get to that'll probably happen this weekend, uh, Saturday or Sunday. But in the meantime, uh, from Epi, just watched a video about entitled folks in the hobby. It's actually something I have seen firsthand, and it's honestly a sad thing to witness. This is going to be a two-part email. So I hope you're ready. And it's two parts within one email. One of my favorite games is Castles and Crusades. And I have to tell personally myself, CNC is a great game. It is what brought me back to gaming. I bought Castles and Crusades at buy.com, which it isn't even buy right now. I don't know what the heck it is right now, but buy.com, great name for a website, right? I think that it was like $9.19 for the player's handbook for CNC, or the player's guide. And I bought like a half dozen copies. I could give it out to my old gaming group. CNC reads like AD&D 1E back in the day that we played it, even though its chassis is built on 3rd edition. So it's like that Rosetta Stone between the OSR and 3E. Great system. I'd love to see more support, not just from the trolls, but from other companies. And the fact that it's so easy, it's simplistic. It's got easy mechanics, and you can easily make it your own. Today, now this of course is going back to the weekend because Epi sent me this email over the weekend. I've had so much other crap to get to. I apologize, Epi. Today, in one of the Facebook posts in the group, I saw that someone was suggesting a major change to one of the classes. It doesn't really matter what the change was, but it was an obvious home rule they wanted to be made an official part of the game. I've seen this. It's like, I think that, and it should be. And that's not how it is. And listen, I've experimented with house rules since I was gaming in the 80s. You know, house rules are great. And even coming back to gaming, my players could tell you, I experimented with using luck, bringing a version of luck into it, kind of like DCC, but different into my Swords and Wizardry, because you find little rules hacks that feel good. But it doesn't mean it should be part of the core rules, the official rule set. But in any case, they wanted to make it an official part of the game. I would simply responded with the usual, it's your game, play it as you see fit. They replied that they wanted it to be an official rule change. At that point, I just said that not everything has to be made to be framed around their specific house rules, and it's impossible to change the official rules to suit everyone. I can already see where this is going. Of course, they then blocked me. This is touching on another topic, and I think it's actually appropriate. Yes. And that is something that often happens in these internet discussions. And listen, again, I blocked somebody last week because they weren't arguing in good faith. Again, misquoting stuff I had just stated. But other people blocked real quickly. And you know what? You know who's a quick person to block? People they disagree with? The offender that actually led to me blocking somebody, Zach Smith. Zach used to run Google Plus as if it was a walled garden. I never knew what a walled garden was until Zach and others started walling off this garden and only allowing their circle, their close-knit people to do attaboy. No matter what you do, you're fucking awesome, right? And therefore never heard dissenting voices. That is something that I got to say, Google Plus really enabled more so maybe than Facebook. But Facebook has it. Listen, I'm on the block list of numerous people because I don't use my platforms, the blog, the podcast, the YouTube forum, the Discord channel. I don't use it for the forces of good. Now, the forces of good is, to me, I further gaming, right? I further the OSR. I like to build a gaming community. But the people that have their issues with me is because I don't use it for their political aims. And I should be using my platform for what they believe, whether on the left or the right, to be the proper political, social aim. I don't do that shit. I don't believe in that shit. So, block away. Make your own echo chambers. It's fine. You know, if all you want to hear is yourself and dripping water, God bless you. So, that's the end of the episode. That's the end of the story. After the block, I see that a lot when someone comes from another game system, whether it be 5e, Pathfinder, or something else, and there's always that one person says, why isn't there room for X, Y, Z in here? Because they're so used to it. And if there's no rule, it can't be done. Again, I ran a game with Swords and Wizardry Light for players expecting 5e. And it did take some time at the game table at GaryCon a number of years ago to get them to get away from the I use my intuition skill. No, you don't. I don't. Do you think he's lying? Maybe he's lying. I can't tell you. You ask him questions. That's how it works in most old school games, right? They really need to open their minds a bit and realize the rules were made as a framework, made to be broken. So Epi can't stand rules lawyers. You know what? I don't mind a rules lawyer so long as they realize that the court does not necessarily, in the world of gaming, make decisions that are going to be based on rules. I might set a new precedent and say, I may legislate from the gaming bench at my table, and that's fine. Okay? I don't mind rules lawyers. Quote the rules in the book. I might have forgotten it. That's great. Maybe I'll go, oh, shit, you're right. Glad you fixed that. Or I might go, yeah, I know that's a rule, and I think it's bullshit, and this is how I roll at the table. But now I'm setting precedent. So somebody can come back and go, well, last session, you did it X, Y, Z. And you're like, oh, shit, you're right, I did. Let's stick with that precedent. Second part of Epi's email. The second part deals with VTT. VTT is programming a rule set for even the simplest games is an uphill battle in coding and planning out. You sound like you're doing Fantasy Grounds. If you know how to code for Fantasy Grounds, I understand. I've been told it is easy as pie, or maybe even easier than pie. However, I had trouble just converting adventures into use for Fantasy Grounds. So unless you're buying stuff that's pre-programmed for you, rule sets like Roll20 seem to run better for me because I'm very much more theater of the mind. But in any case, a tip of the iceberg, if you will. For the most part, there are many in the hobby who have dedicated a significant portion of their time and knowledge to building out these rule sets for the various, almost countless, it seems, virtual tabletops that are out there. I hate seeing folks complaining about a usually free rule set, but how it doesn't contain their favorite spell or akin to a simple drag and drop of stats or inventory or anything of that sort. I've seen that too. Not a lot, because most of the groups that I play with, we don't really use a lot of that, but I've seen it on message boards. And again, somebody volunteering their time, take what you can get, unless you think you can do better. And I'll be guaranteeing you, almost without a doubt, almost without exception, those complaining are, like me, skillless when it comes to coding. So, learn. This is what we say, learn to code. You know, if you're going to complain about something that you have no ability to do yourself and other people volunteering their time to do, well, then learn to do it yourself and then You have nobody to complain to but yourself, right? The worst offenders are the ones who, like my first point, complain about how they can't do the thing they were able to do with the official 5e rule set, with this other rule set. People forget a VTT is meant to assist in running your games online. Although some of them are more integrated, some of them are more completist in what they can do. I don't know. Again, I'm a minimalist. It's the reason why at the Roll20 asked me to record one of my sessions, and I told them you probably don't want the minimalist that I am doing so, and the fact that we'd have to probably cut 3/4 of the audio for being improper, not politically correct, vulgar, obscene, and just really bad, like potty jokes. So, think about, D&D was at the table when you're a teenager. I don't think it's changed for a lot of these groups that form amongst like friends. Gaming is our chance to act like 16 years old, but with beer. It kind of happens. Epic goes on, it's not supposed to be the focus of and do every damn thing for you. You know what? But for some people, it is. And I understand that. And Epi says, use some tokens, share a map, and roll some dice. I don't even use tokens. But I appreciate those that do. And those that do all the extras and the tchotchkes. I never used to use, what do you call it? Like virtual handouts, players' handouts on Roll20 until I was actually a player in a game that used it. I went, oh, this is a pretty cool trick. I should use this. So, listen, this is certainly one of those to each their own. I think when it comes to VTT, you have to find a group that kind of matches your playstyle. If they like everything automated, and you don't, that's not the group for you. And if you like everything automated and your group is being run by some jackass like me, you probably don't want to play in my group. You'll be like, why isn't this automated? Listen, dude, just roll the dice. I've had players roll their own dice at the table, physical desk is sitting at, and then tell me the results. Whatever works. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox of the program in its many forms and hope you and the family are well. Hope to see you all at North Texas. You will see me and my lovely wife, Rach, at North Texas. I will not be running the Frog Guy games booth, but I will be roaming. I will be getting in trouble, I am quite sure. Nice, good trouble, but trouble nonetheless. I think that Wednesday night, Chris Stodgill is going to be hosting, hopefully a live stream, if not we'll record it, of the North Texas, was it the evening before, Get It On. We're going to be doing a drink tasting. Adult beverages only. Folks, on that note, I'd like to remind everybody we're still in the midst of the world of COVID. What does that mean? It means use your common sense, right? Use your common sense to keep yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends healthy and safe. Be safe, be well. God bless each and every one of you. Roll those dice, roll them well. And knock on wood, I believe I'm back tomorrow with Joe the Lawyer for Iron Rations. Gamer's Health on Saturday night with Rach. So, I got some voicemails to get to. Might get to them Saturday as a bonus episode or Sunday. We shall see. All right, folks. On that note, I'm out of here. Thank you so much. Oh, don't forget, subscribe, like, comment. I think I said it all. All right.